Welcome everyone to a new tactics video on my channel. My name is Mark, and in this video I'm going to show you custom tactics and a formation that I was using the last few days, and that counters two big problems that we are facing in FC24. And the first thing that we are facing, what is a big issue, is that cut back goals. Lots and lots of people are using that because it's a really overpowered way to score goals. And the other one that covers it is when you are attacking yourself, that your players are not moving at all. And yeah, I was thinking about how can we solve this, and I think I found a solution. I tried it out myself and I think I really got it. You see me in this video playing with Front in online seasons, but it's also working for Ultimate Team, so use it there. I don't have the really exact good players to use this formation in Ultimate Team right now, so that is the reason why I'm showing it in online seasons. But a friend of mine has the players. I tried it out on his account and it works there as fine as well. But before I begin, I would really like you to ask a favor. Drop a like in the video. It will be really helpful for me and my channel to grow. And if you're new to the channel and want to find your way back really easy, make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. Alright, the formation that I am using is the 3-4-2-1 formation, and I'm gonna try to explain more in detail why I think this is a really good formation at this moment to counter these two big issues. And that is why this is probably going to be a bit longer video. Also have some gameplay examples at the end, so pay attention. And there we are beginning to explain what kind of players you need in this formation. Of course, a goalkeeper, we have Maignan. It doesn't matter for the tactics at all what goalkeeper you have, but it would be nice if it's a good goalkeeper, of course. Then we have three center backs, and it would be nice if all the three are fast and good at defending. Of course, that is what you always like in defenders, but you're only playing with three defenders. Later I'm going to show you that also Klaus and Hernandez, you see them there, also going to be defending, but in some specific situations they are also attacking. So then you are only with these three at the back, and then it would be really nice if they are at least really fast. And all three of these defenders are having 80 plus pace, so that is good. Then the next players that are the central midfielders. I'm using Tchouaméni and Rabiot as the central midfielders, and both are going to play a bit defensive, but it would be nice if they are really all round. They don't have to be really fast, but it would be nice if it's around 80 pace. That would be good. Passing must be good, and it's also nice if they have good defending and physicals, but because they are also playing really defensive. Then we're going to the right and the left midfielder. I'm using Klaus and I'm using Hernandez. Klaus on the right side. I'm using these players because they are really attacking minded right and left defenders. They have high attacking work rates, medium defensive, but because they are defenders by their possession, they will be playing more defensively than when you are using there a right or left midfielder, or even a left or a right winger. I tried that as well, but then you are stuck at the defense. So it must be really necessary that you are using attacking minded right and left defenders, and Klaus and Hernandez are both that kind of players. They are pretty fast, both have the high medium work rates, and defensive stats are good, passing stats, dribbling stats, they are pretty good. So that's why I'm using these two players. All right, then we're going to the left center forward, and the same for the right center forward. They must be really fast winger kind of players. Dembele, 93 pace, really good dribbling, 5-star, that is good. And Mbappe, 97 pace, good shooting, good dribbling, and he has 5-4-star. That doesn't matter, of course, for the tactics, 5-4-star, but it's pretty nice to have, of course. But they must be really fast wingers because they are going to make the runs that are really important in this formation. And then we have Griezmann. Griezmann is the striker, and the striker must be some kind of player that is good in dribbling and also really good in passing, and if he is good at shooting, that would be nice as well, but he doesn't have to be the fastest player. You see, he's only 80 pace, but that is good enough. And now I'm going to draw a bit to explain why I think this is a good formation. You have 3 at the back. The left and the right defender are also going back when you don't have the ball. I'm going to show you that in examples later. So probably you have 5 at the back, and these 2 guys are also being staying back at the fence in the instruction. I'm going to show you that later. So you also have these 2 guys, so that is 7. So what this is doing is when you don't have the ball, and your opponent is going to try for some cutback goal. So he's going down the wing, trying to attack. Hernandez is going after him. Then you have Upamecano. He is playing as the left central center back. And then you also have Rabiot. He's not on cover wing. He's not on cover center. He's on cover wing. So he can also go that way. So you have 3 players that are trying to cover the cutback pass and that your opponent is scoring. And you can also use second man press and team press, of course, to activate the other players. That is also really necessary to use, of course, but that these 3 players are there is really necessary to counter these cutback goals. And then the other thing, that players are not moving at all when you are attacking. I think it's just because of you need to use the momentum in the game. I think I need to explain it like that. When you don't have the ball and you tackle someone and you have the ball, then there is some momentum that the players are switching from defense to attack. And with some instructions and with tactics, you can make runs with all these players. And when you give passes at the right time, when they are making the run, then I didn't have these problems at all. But when you don't pass it in time and the momentum is gone and your opponent is defending again, they switched from attack to defense, then the momentum is gone and then it can be hard to attack. So that is a really, really important thing, to use that momentum, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to show you that now, what tactics that I was using, because that is really, really important. Not only the formation and the lineup, but the tactics also. And there it is. We use defensive style, pressure on heavy touch. What also is really, I'm going back to the formation again. What I didn't say, that there is one big issue with this formation, and that is stamina. Players will be getting tired, especially during the second half, especially the wingers and the left and the right midfielder. These guys are getting tired. So if you're playing Ultimate Team, make sure that you use high stamina players over there, or that you have players on the bench so you can replace them for fresh players. That will be a really necessary thing. If your opponent is not quitting yet, because I had lots of rage quits with this one, so that was not a big of an issue, all the stamina. But when he is not rage quitting, then it can be an issue, and then you need some players on the bench. All right, defensive style, pressure on heavy touch. So when your opponent has a ball and it's a bit hard for him to control it or to pass the ball, then your players are going to press. And I don't know exactly why, but for me this was working really, really good. Also, you have the pressure when you lose the ball, but this is doing a bit like the same. Sometimes when I lose the ball, all my players are going to press, and then I can recover the ball really quick and use that momentum to make a counter attack and score an easy goal. The team width for this one is 45 and the depth is 60, and that is also a bit meta that is going on in YouTube world. If you are looking at, maybe on TikTok as well, that people are playing the 71 depth. I tried it out, but maybe it's just me, it's not my thing. I like to play really high on the pitch, but 60, I don't know why, but that is working fine for me. Try it out yourself. If you want to try 71, try the meta. then feel free to do that. But for me, in this formation with this 160 was good enough. And then we're going to the build-up play, and that would be a long ball. A long ball is really, really important because that is what the team is making moving forward, making runs into the space. You're gonna see that later in the examples that I'm having, but especially the right and the left midfielder and the left and the right winger. Well, they are playing center forwards, but I like to call them wingers. Like this is the pitch, then you have the left midfielder and you have the right midfielder, you have these wingers here, and when you have the long ball, they are going to make these runs. So you have 4 players that are going to make the runs. I'm going to show you that later in the instructions. You also have these players, the center midfielders and the striker. I don't instruct them to go forward or to make that run, so you can pass the ball around and use the space that they are making when they are making the runs, and build up your attacks like that. What I basically do is let's go back. When you have the ball with the center back, you recovered it, pass it to the midfielder, then you're going to the right midfielder that is making a run like this, then you pass it into Griezmann. This player is making a run forward, can play it to Mbappe, or when he is covered can play it back to Klaus when he's making the run forward. So there are plenty of options when you have the ball and use the momentum with the long ball. They are going to make the runs. Sometimes you need to trigger the players to make the runs with the R1 button yourself, but you can use it if you are practicing it. It's working really, really fine. All right, then I have the chance creation. I use that on forward runs as well because of the runs that we are making. I don't want direct passing in this one. Forward runs is good. The width is 45. I don't have a really good explanation why I'm using this, but it was working really good. I use this a lot, and if I'm putting it wider, it's really wide open, and sometimes players are too far away from each other to pass the ball correctly. And if I'm putting it more more narrow, then they are too close to each other, and that's also not what you want. So 45 was working good for me, but feel free to switch this a bit if you want. Then we're going down to plays in the box. That is just on 5 bars, and corners and free kicks. Doesn't matter for the tactics at all. You could choose whatever you want, but I use 2 for both. Then we're going to the instructions. These are really important, and the first thing that I want to say is that I have all my players on aggressive interception because of the pressure on heavy touch that we are playing. I want my players to be aggressive, and I used this in previous FIFA as well. And for me, it feels really, really good. Players are not going to make falls or making wrong tackles with it. I don't know. They are just closer to the opponent for my feeling. More aggressive on the ball, so you can recover it more quickly and more easily. So all the players are on aggressive interceptions. So then we're going to the other settings. Goalkeeper is default. All center backs are default except of the aggressive interceptions, of course. But I already said that. Then we are going to the midfielders, and the right midfielder is on comeback on defense because we are not playing with a right defender. And he's a defensive player. He's a right defender from his possession. But I want him to come back to help the defense. I don't have him on getting behind because that is a bit too much. The same for the left midfielder. What that does when I tried it out, when you have your player, your left midfielder and your right midfielder, when they are unbalanced attacking runs, and they are coming back to defense, and then they are going forward, and not too much, not too fast. But when you put this on getting behind, probably they are going to play more like left and right wingers. And you also have Dembele and Mbappe, and you have Griezmann, and you have 5 on top. Sometimes they are even in offside possessions, and that is not what you want because you only have these 2 center mids. And you have only options to pass it forward then, and You just want to create these kind of triangles to pass the ball a bit back, forward again, to the side, and then you have on different levels players to pass the ball to then when they are all there above on 5 on the attack. So that's not what you want, so no getting behind, that is not really working. What I have is get into the box for the cross. So when they are making the runs, they will also get into the box for the cross, and can be really necessary, can be really handy to have them there. I'm going to share that later in some examples that I had. So Klaus, come back on the fence and aggressive interceptions, and then we go for the get into the box for the cross. The same for them for Hernandez, the same as Klaus. I'm not going to explain it again. Then we have Rabiot and Tchouaméni, the two central midfielders. I already said it, they are going to play really defensive, stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for the cross because I don't want them to go in, and aggressive interceptions, of course. We have them on cover wing, I already told you why. So they are going to the side when it's necessary. Sometimes, I'm going to draw it again, sometimes when Hernandez is making a move and you lose the ball and your opponent is going to attack this way, then Rabiot will go there to cover the space and try to hold up the attack. And then you also have Upamecano here to do that. So that is why I have them on cover wing and not on cover center. The same for Tchouaméni, of course. Stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for the cross, aggressive interceptions, and just cover wing. Then we're going to Mbappe. Only thing I changed for him is get him behind, because he is that fast winger and I want him to make that runs even when we are playing with long ball. Also attacking runs on getting behind. It's working perfectly. The same for Dembele. Get him behind and the aggressive interceptions for him. And then we have Griezmann. He is just default, except of the aggressive interception, of course. All other things are just default. He has medium work rates. Maybe if you are using a different player that has a high attacking work rate, then maybe you can do the attacking runs on maybe just target man or false number 9, because you don't want him to make the runs forward all the time. He is just necessary to be some kind of target man, just some kind of playmaker in front of your attack that you can pass the ball to, and he can pass it back to one of the wings. All right, that is it for the instructions. And let's go to some examples. I had 3 matches with some gameplay, and I'm going to explain why these tactics are really good. We have Klaus here with the get into the box for the cross instruction. So he is here in the box by himself. I pass the ball to him, but we lose it. Can happen, of course. You can't score all the time, but we lose it. And then you can see what is happening. You see Klaus. I didn't select him. He is just making the run back because he is on the comeback on the fence. He's making the run back, and that is really necessary. You can see the lineup here, 3 defenders, and this is Hernandez. We have Tchouaméni and we have Rabiot. I selected Tchouaméni to put some pressure on the ball. Also Koundé with second man press to surround this player that he can't do really anything. So he's going around Klaus. I selected Klaus, and then the most dangerous situation is already gone. He didn't know what to do, and we can attack. And in this situation, you see the runs that we are making with the long ball. In this case, Griezmann is making a run. Dembele is making a run. You see Klaus here on the right side is making the run. So we have some opportunities. I go for Griezmann. He can go one-on-one on the goalkeeper, and this chip shot was a bit lucky, but it is in and it's a goal. All right, then from a standard situation, you can see how my team is lined up. Here you can see it on the radar. 5 defenders, 2 midfielders, 3 attackers. And we try to recover the ball, of course, with some second man press. Hernandez is gone, but he's really fast. So I try to catch up with Hernandez on Hakimi. We have Upamecano here, who is covering the space. And we have Saliba here as well. He is doing a trick. I don't know why, but it was not really necessary. And we have the ball, and then you can see the momentum that I was talking about. You see, I recovered the ball, passed the ball to Dembele. Rabiot is going forward. Griezmann is going forward. Mbappe is going forward. Tchouaméni is going a bit forward, and also you see Klaas Hero. He is also going to make a run forward. Easy skill move, pass the ball to Griezmann. Mbappe is making the run, asking for the ball, and it's a header, and it's a second goal. Then my opponent is trying to build up an attack. You see Hernandez is gone. That is what I always was talking about earlier. But Upamecano is here to catch up with him. Saliba is here with the striker, and Hernandez, Rabiot are coming back as well, of course. He's going around with Dembele. He's really fast, of course. And then you can see what I was talking about these cutback goals. So I'm selected here with Upamecano. Hernandez is here as well. He only has one striker here. I don't know why, but and then there is coming this player. You can see him on the mini map. He is coming into the box as well. I use second man press because I always do that in these situations to activate my player to cover the striker even when he is offside at this moment. This player is coming into the box, but Tchouaméni is there, so I was not really worried about him. He was trying to reach him. Tchouaméni with sliding tackle, get the ball, and that is covered. All right, then we have here Koundé building up to the right side. Saliba, we have Klaas here, and we're going around the player. Then we have Mbappe. Really much players in the box. Even Hernandez is in the box, and that is why I'm using this get into the box for the cross for the left and the right midfielder. That is because I want them to be here for an extra option. And especially for the defenders of your opponent, you are playing already with 3 attackers, and then also from the side are coming players into the box, and that can be a really overwhelming for your opponent when there are so many players getting into the box for the cross from the wings. All right, this is another match. You can see that other colors on the field. It's against Paris Saint-Germain again, because lots of players are still playing with Paris Saint-Germain. That is really okay for me. But then you see it here. Let's go back a little bit because I was a bit too early. I lost the ball. Theo Hernandez was here. I don't know exactly why, but he was there. I'm just going back with Dembele. You see Upamecano is covering the space that Hernandez left behind. And also I use second man press, and in this case Rabiot is putting some pressure on the ball. He also is on cover wing, and Hernandez is coming back. So you can see that we are trying to solve this situation. Rabiot is there. He can get the ball, and we can build up another attack. And you see Dembele is making the run already, and that is also that kind of momentum that you need. His players lost the ball. They were just in a run forward or just attacking minded. They lose the ball. They need to switch, and Dembele already made that switch. The fast player that he is. And we can go into the box. Just pass it back to Griezmann. Try to shoot, but I just wasted there a really big chance, but it's okay. Then my opponent is trying to attack. You see Klaas is getting back, and we have all the defenders here. Hernandez is going back, Rabiot is getting back. So you see that you are not really wide open when you lose the ball, and just play it around to build up the attack. Long ball, and then you see Klaas again. I already said it, the momentum, I just say it again. He was running back for the defense. We covered the ball. We passed the ball to Rabiot, and he is already here. Not even with the get in behind. Just the long ball tactics is working fine here. And we have the ball, Griezmann, Mbappe, and scoring the goal. All right, then my opponent is trying to cross. Hernandez is there, heading the ball away. And then we have Dembele. Pass it back to the midfield, then to the right side. You see the players making the runs. You see Dembele here on the down of the screen, and he is making the run. And Griezmann is here. Mbappe is making the run, and this is easy. Griezmann to Mbappe, and another goal, and my opponent is quitting. All right, then this is the third and last match that I have for some examples. My opponent is attacking on the wing. I think he would try to go for the cutback goal, but there are not really much attackers, and you can see it here how many defenders there are, and also the center midfielders. I'm using second man press because there are just lots and lots of players from my side around the box, so I can use second man press. He's going back, trying to put it to the middle, and again he's playing it to the striker, and Saliba gets the ball, and then we are going to attack. You have Klose here passing it to Mbappe, and you see the runs. Griezmann is already running. Maybe I just trigger him to make a run. Sometimes I do that. I don't have my controller here, but mostly I do that. But in this match I didn't. I don't know exactly why. Maybe my settings were reset, but sometimes I'm triggering players myself with the R1 button, but I can't see if I was doing that here. And you see that pass, and you are through, and you can go one-on-one on the goalkeeper. I just passed it back to Mbappe and scored a goal. Alright, then the next one, Saliba is passing it forward, and you can see the runs already. Tchouaméni is making a run. Hernandez is going to make a run. Klose here in the mini-map is going to make a run forward. So we're passing it to Tchouaméni. You see Mbappe making a run, but also on the mini-map. And mini-map is really, really handy, really necessary to use that, because you can see players making runs. So Tchouaméni to the right side. His defenders are all over the place, don't know who to cover. Mbappe is really wide open and can go into the box really easy and score another goal. Then we lost the ball. My opponent is trying to build up his attack. I'm just out of possession here with Klose. Can happen, of course. I switched to Tchouaméni, but normally when you are playing with two defenders, your whole left side of your opponent, your right side, would be wide open. But because we are playing with three center backs, Koundé is covering the space. Tchouaméni is also running back because I do that, of course. I'm switching here. Not really good. Then I finally go to Koundé, making a sliding tackle, and we have the ball. And look at the runs they are making. My opponent is trying to press, maybe he's playing some pressure football, maybe with the 71 depth, I don't know. I can't see that, of course, but players are making the runs forward with some pressure, and my players are also going forward, so they are just running across each other. And when you are using the space that you can create and use the right moment to pass, then you can build up your attack. All right, now we are going to defend again with Saliba. He is covering the ball, and again, and Mbappe, because he is really fast, he is making a run, and the left defender of my opponent can't catch up because Mbappe is faster than that, of course. We can go one-on-one on the goalkeeper and do a flick and flick it over the goalkeeper and score. And then we're going to the last goal. That is not really an example why this formation is just using really good, but it's a nice goal, right? I wanted to end with a nice goal. You can see 7-0. I was winning this match with 9-0, I think, before my opponent quit it. All right, this was maybe a bit of a long video, but hopefully I explained it the right way and the good way, why I'm using this formation and why I think this can be really good to counter the two big problems in FC24 right now. Please don't forget to leave a like if you think I deserved it, and hopefully we will see you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.